Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I'm a beauty enthusiast that loves to talk about everything dealing with beauty and makeup, and today we got a new blush by Patrick Ta. So if you weren't aware, Patrick Ta came out with this beautiful palette of new blushes around the holiday season. This palette sold out like immediately. And so what he did was, because so many people love these shades, but a lot of people didn't have an opportunity to get this palette, he now is selling each one of these shades individually so you can get them in his duo format. And then he did release a new shade called She's Blushing. So I'm gonna do a quick overview and face swatches of all of the shades in this palette, and then I will be sharing with you what this new blush looks like on the face in comparison to his other duo in She's So LA. I'll also show you a comparison on the face between this one and the new blush shade. And then I have just a couple of comparisons, and then we'll be done. And of course, I will share with you if I think the quality is there and if it's something that you should pick up. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it, and let's get right into this video. So I have done a full dedicated review on this blush palette. I will go ahead and link that for you if you would like to go and reference that. I do go into more detail with this palette. I do some more comparisons with the blushes in this palette, so definitely check out that one. For now, I'm just gonna jump right into the demonstrations. So these duos do retail for $34. We get a total of 0.37 ounces of product, or 10.5 grams of product. This is the new shade called She's So Blushing, or She's Blushing, not She's So Blushing. She's Blushing, and I think this one is gorgeous. He describes She's Blushing as a beige type of shade. Just to give you a few high points about this formula and why it might be of interest to you, in the duos we do get a powder formula and a cream formula. There is a nice protective sleeve that does cover the cream so that your powder does not transfer into the cream, and you get a really nice size functional mirror. The packaging is really pretty. You do see fingerprints on it, but I really do like the packaging. The formula is long wearing, very pigmented. It's going to leave a natural finish on the skin. The formula is vegan, and it's also hydrating. And so we have patented biomimetic pigments that will mirror the skin's ceramide structure, ensuring adhesion and true color and a natural finish on the skin. We have micronized pigments that provide an even, flawless payoff of a luminous finish and extended wear of the blush. And then we have a creamy emollient base, which will flawlessly blend into the skin, provide a dewy finish, and lock in color for extended wear. So I love these Patrick Ta duos. I have 3 of the original ones. I have Oh She's Different, She's So LA, and Do We Know Her? I don't have the 4th one. I never picked that one up, but I have those. So now I have the other 4 that he has. And I feel like as a completionist, I should just go get the other original one just so I can have it, but that's neither here nor there. So let's get into the demonstration. So I'm gonna first start off with this beautiful bright poppy pink shade here. This is gonna be called She's Vibrant, and it's a pink shade, but it's a very poppy pink. I think this is a like cooler toned pink, and I'll give you swatches of these as well as showing you what they look like on the face. So here we have a nice swatch of the powder shade and then of the cream shade here. And you've already seen what it looks like on the cheeks as well. I think this shade is very beautiful. It literally pops. I think it's going to be an amazing shade for the spring and summer months that are coming up. When this palette first came out, I was like, these shades are not really like winter shades. I felt like this was more of like a spring type of palette. So I'm very excited that the spring and summer months are coming up, because I will definitely be getting more use out of especially this shade here in the upcoming months. The next shade we have is She's Vibrant. This is also described as a pink shade, but I feel like this shade is more of a coral shade with some pink in it, which is kind of coral anyway. So here is a swatch of the powder, and here is a swatch of the cream. And you can see that these 2 shades are definitely not similar to each other in color, but very beautiful, bright, vibrant shades. She's Vibrant is such a great name for this. Then we get into She's Baked, which he describes as a beige color. And my thoughts, and you all tell me, here is the swatch of the powder and then here is a swatch of the cream. I wonder if Patrick Ta is doing variations of lighter and deeper of these shades, because the new shade She's Blushing, he describes as a beige shade. And it's definitely not a beige shade in terms of what I think of when I think of beige. But if you look at the two, they're definitely, you know, lighter in one, and then this one is definitely deeper. And you can see that when I show you the comparison of the two on the cheek. So let's get into this new shade called She's Blushing. And we'll, of course, do, you know, swatches of these as well. So we have She's Blushing Powder and She's Blushing Cream. So as you can see, this is definitely a lighter version of this particular shade here. He describes them as both beige shades, but like I said, when I think of beige, I don't think of this depthness, which is a good thing. I'm like, thank you, Patrick Ta, for giving us beige with some depth to it. But that was my first thought when I saw these two. I was like, I wonder if he's giving us like a lighter version and a deeper version. So if I were to describe what She's Beige looks like, I think this is like a mauve brown type of shade. Because when you look at it on the cheek, it's actually the blush that I'm wearing on the cheek. It definitely, I see, you know, some brown, but I also see some mauve. And I also see like a hint of like almost, I don't know if it's like a pink, yeah, I don't know if it's like a hint of like pink or burgundy-ish with the brown. I don't know, but it's a gorgeous shade nonetheless. So I know that you've already seen face swatches of the 3 shades in the palette, and then you've seen a comparison of this shade right here called She's Baked, along with the new shade called She's Blushing. Now let's get into the comparison of She's Blushing with my most favorite shade from Patrick Ta, which is She's So LA. Let me tell you, She's So LA, when I saw this, I said, you know what? This is boring. Why would we even consider this as a blush? This looks more almost like a bronzer contour. I'm telling you, She's So LA transforms on the face to something amazing. So here's a swatch, powder, and then cream. And you can see that She's So LA definitely has more of like a neutral blush shade to it compared to She's Blushing and She's Baked. I love this blush. So you can see when I apply it to the face that She's So Blushing, the new shade from Patrick Ta, definitely has some more, I would say, more warmth to it. It also has, like I said, that kind of reddish mauve tone to it. And when you look at both side by side, you can definitely see the differences of them as well. So this is She's Blushing and this is She's So LA. And I definitely feel like if you have She's So LA, and if you do have this blush palette, you are not repeating yourself if you are interested in getting She's Blushing, because the tone is different. And once again, you can see those differences here. She's Baked, She's Blushing, and She's So LA. You can see those differences on the arm as well. I love Patrick Ta's blushes. Like, I am at the point now where I'm like, oh, he's coming out with a new blush. I need it and I want it. I think for him, for these, what I love most about them is the formula. So first of all, who has ever known of us having to apply the powder first with the cream on top? I felt like that was so revolutionary. Like, are you sure, Patrick, this is what you want us to do? You know, put the powder down, then the cream on top. The cream is not gonna pick up the powder underneath. And it doesn't. I mean, you just get, number one, if you wanna wear just the powder is so creamy. It really blends into the skin. And I know in the demos, especially with the pink-based colors, I packed the color on. And I did that because if you have a deep, rich complexion, I wanted you to see, you're gonna see the blush on your skin. It's not gonna just be a flush of color. You're gonna see it because of how intense I applied it. So I purposely did that just in case you were wondering. But even with She's Blushing and also with She's So LA, these are lighter blushes, if I could say, in terms of like the shades. And I feel like you can definitely use this blush if you are a few shades deeper than me. This is She's So LA. I think you could definitely use it. If you have a nice, rich, deep complexion, I don't think She's So LA is really gonna serve you well. And if you do have it and you have a rich complexion, please leave in the comment section that yes, it shows up, it wears beautifully, so that we all know, you know, what we can and can't wear. I think She's Blushing definitely can work for maybe a few shades deeper than myself, because this has that kind of reddish hue. This blushing might look like you're blushing if you have a rich complexion. If you're around, you know, my shade or lighter, you're definitely gonna see more of that pigmentation coming through. This is the blush shade that I definitely was like, yes, I need it. I love this blush tone. I think it's great for the upcoming spring and summer months. And even though it might be a little deeper versus like a poppy shade, this might be one of those shades that you wear in the evening time, or like, I think this is daytime appropriate. I would wear it in the daytime, but this might be a shade that you might want to wear kind of like I said, in the evening, if like you're a person who likes to wear like more poppy, brighter blushes during the day. I think these two shades, She's a Doll and She's Vibrant, are just perfect for everyday wear. Like, it's sunny, it's bright, we're at the vineyard, like perfect for daytime wear, and also perfect for evening wear. But I like to wear like deeper blushes in the evening and then brighter ones during the day. So for me, you know, She's a Doll, She's Vibrant are daytime blushes for me. She's Baked is definitely gonna be one of those blushes I would wear in the evening, or if I were rushing and I needed a blush bronzer all in one, She's Baked definitely is one of those shades for me. She's So LA, I like to wear this blush day or evening. If I want like a really neutral look, like you almost can't tell if I have on blush or bronzer, you just see depths to the face, this is what I love She's So LA for. Or if I have an eye look and a lip and I'm like, I really don't know what blush to add, but I want something on the cheek, She's So LA, I'm telling you, no matter what look I'm going for, if I don't know a blush to choose, if I don't have one that I want to wear, I just add She's So LA and it does it every time. She's Blushing, I feel like, is going to be like a She's So LA. Like, I don't really know what blush to wear, but I want color on the cheeks. If I want a little bit more color than what She's So LA is gonna provide, She's Blushing will give it to me. Are we done with all the she's? Because I'm not. Now, let's do some comparisons. I don't have a lot, and if there are other comparisons that you want me to do that I might not think of, definitely leave that in the comment section. I don't mind doing that. So let's look at Oh She's Different. So looking at Oh She's Different and She's Blushing, they kind of look like there's no similarity between them. But when I put She's Blushing on the face, I was like, ooh, what about Oh She's Different? And if I would have thought about this, I would have done like face comparisons, but let's do swatch comparisons just to see, you know, is there anything to compare, or, you know, are they completely different? So let's see, we've got She's Blushing right here. So let's add the powder from Oh She's Different right there, and the cream right here. So we've got powder from Oh She's Different, cream from Oh She's Different, and then here is cream and powder from She's Blushing. I see similarity between the cream shades, but the powder shades I don't see too much of a similarity about. I see more of a similarity between the powder shades of She's Baked. So here's She's Baked powder, and then Oh She's Different powder, and then these are the creams from Oh She's Different and She's Blushing. So, you know, there's some similarity there, but not enough similarity to where I would say if you have Oh She's Different, you don't need She's Blushing if you want She's Blushing. And the reason why is because the powder from She's Blushing is a different tone than the powder from Oh She's Different. So if you wanted a powder that was maybe a little lighter than the powder in Oh She's Different, here's Oh She's Different, She's Blushing, the powders are different. So here's the powder from She's Blushing, and then of course here's the powder from Oh She's Different. So because these powders are different, you know, if you had Oh She's Different, you could have potentially 3 definitely distinctive colors, and maybe, you know, 2 similar shades here, since these do look a little similar on arm swatches, and they would probably look somewhat similar on the face. But yeah, so I thought about that. Then I thought about Danessa Myricks. This is the Dewy Lip and Cheek palette, and I was more so interested in these 2 shades right here to compare to the cream shade of She's Blushing because I haven't done that. And I was like, is there a similarity there? So I'm gonna take this shade here. This is called Nuditude. And then we have Wallflower here. And let's see if I can get some space. So let's put, so we have, she's blushing right here. So he have Nuditude. Let's put that right here. And there's a little similarity between the two. So here's Nuditude from Danessa, and then here is She's Blushing, the cream shade. And then let's put Wallflower. Let's put that right here. And yeah, there's definitely no difference in Wallflower and then the cream shade from She's Blushing. Completely different, a lot more depth of tone. But Nuditude and the cream shade from She's Blushing, they're sort of similar, but not so similar enough to where I would say if you have this palette, you don't need She's Blushing. I mean, you don't need any of these, but if you wanted them, I'll say that. If you wanted them, I would say you probably could still have, where is it at? You probably could still, you know, have She's Blushing in your collection and not feel like you're repeating yourself too much. And then let's take Danessa's Dewy Cheek and Lip Palette. This is in Do It Flirty. And let's look at these two shades here compared to the brighter shades in the palette that I have, or the individuals that he now has released. So we're gonna take this shade right here, which is called Sweet Cheeks, and XOXO. And let's put, okay, so let's put XOXO here. So this doesn't look similar to She's Vibrant. There's a little similarity between XOXO and then She's a Doll, but I would say She's a Doll definitely is pulling more cool tone, especially with the powder blush. The cream blush, I would say there is a little similarity, but I do feel like the cream shade is still going to be a little more cooler than the shade here. And then let's do, what's this, She's a Tease? Sweet Cheeks. I'm all the Shizas, so I'm like confusing myself. Looking at Sweet Cheeks and then Vibrant Coral, because I would say that they might, you know, sort of be somewhat the same, and they're definitely not. We see more like orange in this particular shade versus She's Vibrant is pulling more coral. So those are all of the comparisons that I have. I mean, of course I have more blush shades, or cream blushes, and then other types of blushes, powder blushes. But I didn't want to make this video too long, so I would rather hear from you all if there's certain comparisons that you would like. But all in all, I think that these powder and blush duos from Patrick Ta are some of the best blushes that I do have, especially when it comes to the cream. The way that the cream just adds life and vibrancy to the blush, but also the powder and the cream can stand alone. Like, you can apply the cream by itself and it truly does melt into the skin and become one with the skin, and you just have this glow on the cheeks. Or you can apply the powder on its own, and like I said, it really just does blend into the skin, mesh into the skin, and you've got this beautiful pigmentation of color. And I am a blush girl. I love my blush to show. I love my blush to speak and talk. And I love that his blushes do that, cream and powder. We don't have like a lackluster cream with the overly vibrant powder and put them together and you have a good happy medium. Like, they can stand alone, but you put them together and you just get such beautiful color on the cheeks. I think Patrick Ta's blushes are excellent for people of color because of the intensity and the richness. But if you are not a person of color, you're obviously going to love the shades. And I would say that if you're not a person of color, definitely go in with a light hand. I'm talking like tap your brush, like tap, not put your brush in there, but tap the brush in the product so that you don't get too much pigmentation that might make you uncomfortable or it might be too much. But even still, if you go kind of heavy-handed, because I could do that too, they blend well. So just keep blending with your brush, or take your foundation brush or sponge, tap over the product, and it will really help the product to blend into the skin so that you're not feeling like it's too pigmented for you. These are blushes that I really do feel like work for a ton of complexions because they really do blend into the skin. So you don't have to worry about the product just sitting on top of your face and not really blending in. Just to like tell you what else I did, I took She So LA and I did apply it today as my bronzer because it is neutral. I do feel like it can work for you as a bronzer if you wanted to. So I put that on the top of my forehead, right along here, and then along my jawline, and then I did just kind of warm up the nose area with it, and it works beautifully. So if you are about my complexion or lighter, you could definitely use She So LA as a nice like bronzer blush because it really does work for that. If you're deeper than me, I don't think it's going to show up on you as a bronzer. If you're a couple of shades deeper than me, I think you could use it as like a nice flush of color on the cheeks. But if you're richer than I am and you want like a good blush bronzer shade, I would say, sorry for the noise, look at She's Baked, and especially now that you can get it individually, you might really enjoy this one as kind of like that really good blush bronzer shade. So let me know your thoughts down below as to how you like these products. What do you think of the new shade She's Blushing? I love it. I think it's stunning. Can't wait to wear it again. And yeah, if you've made it to this point of the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.